Good morning everyone, and introducing Contender number 4. This M1A2 Abrams was left too close to the Madagascar What If dessert and milkshake and military vehicle factory, and when the Americans came back to collect the 4 that they'd accidentally left there, they found all 4 had been upgraded to the Madagascar TUSK 3 standard. This is one of my favourite conversions so far. This is now Contender 4, and this, I believe, has a real chance of winning in the heavy category. So what do we have here? Well, it looks like a T90M and the Abrams mated. We have spaced composite nearer reactive armour. We have an active hard kill protection system which protects the flanks and towards the front. We have spaced top attack anti-pooping drone armour. We have radars. We have laser warning systems here, which when the tank gets painted by lasers deploys the smoke grenades. We have armour around this side. We have spaced armour on the front of the turret. We have top attack armour here. And of course we retain the Abrams' excellent ammunition stowage here, which is protected by these blowout panels. Now there's no need really to use the whole 6-round hull stowage, so 36 rounds in that protected bustle. Now I'm really, like I said, really pleased with this. I like the way that the armour is angled. It reminds me of the Israeli sort of M1A2 Classic, the British FV432 Bulldog. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Basically this is all plastic hard and handmade. You've got the radars here, more laser warning sensors here, and an RWS from Butler's Printed Models plonked on the site roof there, remaining a lot of machine guns for suppressive fire. Let's have a look from the top, and let's have a quick sneaky look at the underbelly, where you can see the TUSK 2 belly protector remains on there. So this is quite heavy. This would be around 72 to 73 tons, but I think represents really good value for money and really good protection. So let's have a quick look at what's going on in the protective field. So I'm basing everything that I'm building on these tiles, and the tiles are come in various configurations. So here they are on the top of the Merkava 4 2025, and here they are on the side of the ZTZ99. Here's some more tiles in a slightly different arrangement on the turret of the Type 10 from Japan, and we have the tiles as well in another configuration on the Leopard 2 Platinum Pro. So the idea of this is an armour scheme which I've developed. It takes from the real world, so it takes from the T90 armour scheme, and it borrows from like the Leopard Pro scheme, and it takes combinations of what works and what is the best practice. So if I grab a helpful pen, I've done like a little guide here to what all the tiles are. So the tiles are able to be put in a variety of arrangements. You can have large tiles, and then you can have smaller tiles back filling them. You can have tiles in the V shape, or you can have tiles in a V-shaped backed configuration, or you can just have top armour tiles as they are there. So the whole idea of this is that the tiles are either the Kevlar composite mix, which is an inert mix of composite materials, top secret, plastic hard, and what that does is that if you get hit by a Sabo coming in, then that deflects it, and then you've got your actual turret armour or hull armour behind that. There's a space in between, a void, and that is designed for things like heat warheads, where the molten jet or HESH, where the explosive force gets dissipated, same with EFPs, and then you are you still got the turret or hull armour to penetrate. Now you may get spalling, and you may get a penetration, but the idea is that's a lot less velocity than your KE or your heat EFP projectile coming in. And the idea of that is that whilst you may lose 1 or 2 crew, you won't get a penetration of all of the ammunition, and the crew can still bail out. So that's really the theory behind it. The next concept is NERA, or New Generation External Reactive Armour, and this is very much like the relict armour on the T90. And the idea of this is, again, that you've got that, say a sabot comes in, you've got the charge coming out, disrupting it, heat charge coming in, the charge, this material here, explodes, pushes it out, and then again you've got the space, and then you've still got the turret armour to penetrate. The main design of all of my upgrades is against the ATGM threat. So I'm not too worried about the kinetic penetrate threat, because the Malagasys don't envisage themselves going up against a top tier adversary, peer-to-peer warfare. But the main thing that they've got to contend with is proliferation of anti-tank guided munitions, anti-tank drones, and EFP IEDs. So that's why the protection is more heavily geared towards heat and EFP warheads rather than kinetic energy penetrators, such as your thin discarding sabot stabilised APD, PDF, whatever it is. So let's have a look at how these plates are arranged. So on the Abrams has got one of the best protection schemes I think I've ever designed. It has a composite backing plate here, and then you've got nearer sloped the reactive armour, and then underneath you've got a composite plate at the very bottom, or you could have, and this is still secret, you could have nearer as well underneath. So you've got various options, but the idea is this is all angled, so EFPs coming into it face the strongest element of the armour, anti-tank guided missiles coming in face the strongest element of the armour, and this is coupled to some top attack boxes here, which will be nearer, and then you've got the angled plates at the front. So I think overall a very comprehensive armouring scheme. The ZTZ99A, this has a slightly different module. So this has the TUSK copy, and then it has the plates arranged to deal with your EFPs coming up, mainly from the ground for IEDs or anti-tank guided missiles coming from the side, tandem charge RPGs, stuff like that. So these are in a composite or nearer, and then you've got the ERA of the TUSK kit actually protecting the hull. Now the hull is a video of a T90 getting absolutely wiped out in Ukraine, and it gets hit by an ATGM on the side, which is the weakest point, and that's where the autoloader can be penetrated. So the idea of this armour scheme is it's protecting the side of the tank and protecting the tank against cheap shots. Cheap shots protected from RPGs, and pooping drone protection from the top. This is very similar to what's on the Type 10 armour scheme, and the Type 10 armour scheme just has this in a slightly better way with the sloping plates there. And again, a Type 10 is very well armoured from the front, but the sides have been said to be a weak point. So here we have the sides well armoured with vertical composite plate, nearer reactive armour, and on the top we've got top attack armour and anti-pooping drone armour. Now the turret bustle here does protect the engine bay against pooping drones, and we've got the active protection scheme at the back. Now these are actually BMP3 sight units from Butler's Printed Models that they printed off for me custom, and I think they make excellent what do you call it when things spin, rotating a active protection system modules. So I really like that. And then we have the top attack armour itself. Now the top attack armour, these can be composite tiles or they can be the nearer reactive armour. They would generally be the composite to keep them light and to prevent blast coming down, but we can see these tiles are used to protect the top from pooping drones. Now let's have a quick look at the Leopard Platinum Pro. This is one of the most heavily armoured tanks in the world. It's also now one of the heaviest. So this has a boxy arrangement, similar to the Dorchester 2 on the Challenger 2 TES. And the idea of this boxy arrangement is that whilst it may look like a box from the outside and the large box from the front, and there's the top attack armour, the active protection system on the side front, and then the angled spaced armour on the side. This again is a mixture, but what can be inside here, inside this boxed unit, is actually composite armour or the new generation reactive armour at angles plated inside. So you don't know quite what you're getting with this, and you don't know quite what you're hitting, but the idea again is to really protect this against anti-tank guided missiles. It has the belly plate there, which comes with a MENG kit, and it has the top attack anti-pooping drone armour, and the front is heavily reinforced here by the composite armour. Again, you could find nearer panels in there, but the nearer panels on this would be on the turret, protecting the side of the turret. So overall, one of the best protected but heaviest tanks. Now, in the heavy category, I can see already that this is going to come to the situation where the Merkava, which has a good protection scheme with the ammunition being at the rear here, and the Leopard and the Abrams go toe-to-toe, head for head in the heavy category. And I think I'm going to have to do categories, sort of heavy 65 ton to 75 ton, and then I'm going to have to do like medium and then a lighter one, because the protection level of these heavy tanks is just superb, but their speed and mobility may suffer. So I think the Leopard will suffer there with speed. The Abrams is quite powerful and quite mobile, so I think that will do okay. And the Merkava is actually very good for going over rocky and difficult terrain. It's not an all-out speed machine, but like I said, the main issue with the Malagasy deploying this is that there's lots of countries very unfriendly to Israel, and it's controversial to deploy it, which has limited its effectiveness. Now again, American armour can be deployed controversially, but there's more support. So the UAE, some of the Madagascar Arab allies use these, the Aussies use these, so you can see how this would be less controversially deployable. The Leopard Platinum Pro, this is a real beast, but I do worry that it will be very immobile because it is extremely heavily armoured. However, because a lot of this is just spaced armour, and you've got the air gap behind it, it may look chunky, but actually in terms of weight, it's not horrendously heavy. The Challenger 2 is a 75 ton tank, and that is really the top weight limit. I won't be pushing beyond that. So we're looking at around 72 for the Abrams, around 72 for the Leopard Platinum Pro, and then a mixture of sort of touching 68 for the Merkava 4, and then these ones here are somewhat lighter. You're looking at 50 tons for the Type 10, which is a 2 ton increase from the 48 for the armoured version, and around 62 tons for the ZTZ. Now I've got these the T90 and the Armata in just for comparison, but I don't think they will be part of the competition because I think they will be banned at threat of sanctions from Uncle Sam, but we will see what happens. Take care. Goodbye.